In the year of our Lord 1500 before Christ, a most peculiar personage named Anya Chronos didst embark upon an extraordinary escapade through the swirling sands of time. With a contraption most curious, she did traverse the temporal tapestry to alight in the sun-baked realm of ancient Egypt. Lo and behold, she found herself amidst a tumultuous transformation, where Pharaoh Akhenaten, that audacious architect of audacity, didst decree a singular sun god, Aten, as the sole sovereign deity. What a ruckus it was, a veritable vortex of theological turmoil. "Pray tell," quoth Anya with a smirk most sardonic, "is this not the grandest game of divine charades?" "Forsooth!" The populace was perplexed, their pantheon pruned to one radiant orb, whilst they clung to their myriad gods like moths to a flickering flame. The priests were perturbed, their power plummeting faster than a catapulted cat in a cacophony of chaos. "What's next?" she mused with mirthful mockery. "Shall we have but one flavour of ice cream too?" As Anya ambled about the bustling bazaars, bedecked with baubles and bizarre trinkets, she stumbled upon Nefertiti. Oh, what a sight! A queen so resplendent that even Ra himself might have blushed at her beauty. Yet beneath her bejewelled brow lay burdens aplenty, for she was embroiled in an epic saga of spousal strife and statecraft. "Ah, my dear Nefertiti," Anya exclaimed with exaggerated empathy, "dost thou not tire of this monotheistic melodrama? One god doth not make for good gossip." With each passing day in this land where hieroglyphs danced like dervishes upon papyrus scrolls, Anya bore witness to the absurdity that ensued. The artisans crafted statues not merely for worship, but as whimsical whimsies. One could find an alabaster cat sporting an extravagant hat. "Aye," she chuckled heartily, "if only these sculptors could channel such creativity into crafting solutions for their pharaoh's predicaments." Yet lo, as the sun dipped below the horizon like an overripe fig ready to fall from its branch, whispers wafted through the air like incense from an altar. The winds carried tales of discontent among the denizens who longed for their old gods, their beloved Osiris and Isis, who had been unceremoniously ousted from their celestial seats. "What folly is this?" Anya pondered aloud while twirling her imaginary moustache. "To forsake such fabulous figures for one solitary sunbeam." In this topsy-turvy tableau where truth twisted like a serpent in search of enlightenment, Anya sought wisdom from scribes who scribbled incessantly on scrolls that seemed more magical than mundane. They spoke in riddles wrapped in enigmas. The truth is but a mirage reflected upon the waters of perception. Such profound profundities left her befuddled, yet bemused. And thus it came to pass that Akhenaten's reign became both revered and reviled, a paradoxical puzzle wrapped within layers of historical hilarity. His radical reforms would eventually lead to his legacy being buried deeper than any pyramid ever constructed. "Oh, sweet irony!" Anya cackled as she imagined future historians scratching their heads over this peculiar pharaoh's penchant for peculiarity. As days turned into nights filled with starry spectacles and celestial shenanigans, Anya realized that truth often lies hidden beneath layers of absurdity, a lesson learned amidst laughter and lunacy. "Perhaps," she declared with dramatic flair while waving her hands like an overzealous magician revealing his final trick, "the greatest cataclysm is not one wrought by nature but by mankind's relentless pursuit of singularity." Thus concluded her capricious sojourn through ancient Egypt, a land where gods were many yet truth remained elusive as shadows at dusk. With newfound knowledge tucked away like treasures within her mind's vault, Anya prepared to return whence she came, armed with arcane facts and absurd anecdotes aplenty. In parting words laced with sarcasm and sincerity alike, "Mayhap I shall pen my memoirs titled Chronicles of Cataclysmic Curiosities, a tome destined to baffle scholars for centuries hence." And off she went into the ether once more, an enigma wrapped in time's embrace. In a time not so far yonder when Anya, a most curious creature of the scholarly sort, did delve deep into the dusty tomes of ancient hieroglyphs, lo, a cataclysmic calamity didst crash upon her cosy confines like a raucous raccoon at a royal banquet. The very heavens did tremble and shake as polar shifts pirouetted with perilous precision, whilst climate chaos cavorted about like a madcap minstrel at a midsummer's eve. "Alas," quoth Anya, "what folly hath I embraced in my quest for knowledge? Methinks I should have taken up knitting instead." As she pondered her predicament, the winds howled with an absurdity that would make even the most seasoned jester chuckle. The sun, that fiery orb of illumination, began to play tricks upon its own rays, casting shadows that danced like drunken sprites upon the walls of her study. "Verily," she mused with a sardonic smirk, "the universe doth possess a peculiar sense of humour, one that doth not bode well for my scholarly pursuits." With each gust of wind came whispers of arcane truths, long buried beneath layers of dust and neglect. Anya's mind raced faster than a rabbit on roller skates as she recalled tales from yore, of wizards who wielded weather like wands, and sorcerers who could summon storms with but a flick of their fingers. "If only I could conjure such powers," she lamented. Yet here she stood amidst swirling chaos, armed only with her quill and an insatiable thirst for truth. "Oh, what irony," she exclaimed, "to seek enlightenment whilst being engulfed by nature's tempestuous tantrum." With each passing moment, the air thickened with magical mischief. Clouds morphed into fantastical creatures. A dragon here, a unicorn there, each vying for attention in this bizarre ballet of atmospheric absurdity. Anya chuckled at the sight. It was as if Mother Nature herself had decided to host an impromptu circus. Pray tell, she thought aloud, what lessons lie hidden within this whimsical whirlwind? Surely there exists some truth amidst this tumult. As lightning flashed like mischievous pixies playing tag in the sky, Anya felt an odd compulsion to embrace the chaos rather than cower from it. Perhaps, she pondered with an exaggerated flourish of her hand, this is but a grand lesson in resilience. To teach truth is to dance with disaster. And so she resolved to pen down her thoughts amidst the pandemonium, a treatise on finding clarity in confusion. Let us not forget, she scribbled furiously upon parchment that fluttered like frightened butterflies in the breeze, that every tempest carries within it seeds of wisdom, forsooth. Even in calamity lies opportunity, a chance to unravel mysteries cloaked in enigma. Her words flowed forth like enchanted ink from her quill as she embraced the absurdity surrounding her. Yet as thunder rumbled ominously overhead, a sound akin to celestial laughter, Anya found herself questioning whether this chaotic charade might be but a reflection of life itself, unpredictable and often ludicrously illogical. Ah, the universe doth jest, she declared dramatically, for what is existence if not one grand cosmic joke played upon us all? In that moment of clarity amid chaos, Anya realized that teaching truth was not merely about imparting knowledge. It was about embracing uncertainty and reveling in life's delightful absurdities. With renewed vigor and whimsical resolve, she crafted her narrative, a tapestry woven from threads both strange and sublime. As the storm raged on outside her window, an orchestra of nature playing its wild symphony, Anya penned her final thoughts. Let us be brave enough to seek truth even when cloaked in confusion, for therein lies our greatest magic, the ability to find meaning amidst madness. And thus concluded her chapter on hieroglyphs, turned hilariously chaotic. And so it was that Anya emerged from this cataclysmic conundrum not merely unscathed, but transformed, armed now with wisdom gleaned from both ancient texts and modern mayhem alike, a true scholar ready to face whatever whimsies fate might throw next. In the present day, fair Anya, a most curious conjurer of antiquities, doth delve into the dusty depths of ancient tomes and artifacts, akin to a historical sleuth with a penchant for peculiar puzzles. With quill in hand and spectacles perched precariously upon her nose, she embarks upon an expedition most extraordinary. Yet lo, half the clues she uncovers lead her down paths as barren as a desert devoid of mirage, an endless wild goose chase that would make even the most seasoned fowl feel foolish. As she peruses papyrus scrolls inscribed with hieroglyphics that twist and twirl like a drunken dervish, Anya finds herself ensnared in a web of whimsical words. What ho, she exclaims, forsooth, these symbols speak not of wisdom, but rather mock my earnest endeavour. Each glyph appears to giggle at her plight, as if they conspire to lead her astray into realms where logic takes flight on the wings of absurdity. With every turn of phrase and every arcane illustration, Anya's mind dances like a jester at court. She encounters phrases such as, the cat hath 9 lives but only one truth, leaving her pondering whether the feline is merely an allegory for elusive veracity or if it hath simply misplaced its 9th life in a game of hide and seek. The absurdity thickens like porridge left unattended on the hearth. It is both nourishing and nauseating. Ah, but what is truth, muses Anya, aloud to no one in particular, for her only companions are dusty tomes and the occasional ghostly whisper from long-departed scholars. Is it not but a slippery eel wriggling through one's fingers? Or perhaps a mirage shimmering just beyond reach? Her sarcasm drips like honey from a comb, sweet yet sticky, ensnaring all who dare approach. Yet amidst this chaos of cryptic clues and nonsensical narratives lies an undercurrent, a lesson waiting to be unveiled. For truth, much like magic itself, oft requires patience and perseverance. Anya recalls tales told by wise old wizards who spoke of truths hidden beneath layers of illusion. Thus she steels herself against despair and presses onward through the labyrinthine lore. As she navigates this treacherous terrain filled with riddles wrapped in enigmas, Anya stumbles upon an artifact, a mirror reflecting not her visage, but rather scenes from epochs long past. By my troth, she gasps, this enchanted-looking glass reveals not mere reflections, but revelations. The mirror chuckles softly, as if amused by her astonishment. It knows well that truth can be both illuminating and bewildering. With renewed vigour, our intrepid heroine continues her quest for knowledge amidst the cacophony of clashing cultures and contradictory chronicles. She discovers scrolls detailing bizarre rituals involving dancing llamas under full moons, an absurdity that tickles her fancy yet also serves as a reminder that history is often stranger than fiction. Each laugh echoes through time like ripples across a pond. But alas, just when victory seems within grasp, Anya encounters yet another dead end, a riddle so convoluted it could befuddle even Merlin himself. What creature walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs in the evening? The answer eludes her grasp like smoke slipping through fingers. Perhaps it is merely another jest played by fate itself. In this moment of frustration mingled with amusement, Anya realizes that teaching truth is not solely about uncovering facts. It is also about embracing folly along the way. For every misstep leads to newfound wisdom wrapped in layers of laughter, an essential ingredient in the alchemical process of understanding our world's complexities. Thus armed with humor and humility alike, Anya resolves to continue her quest, not merely for answers, but for enlightenment cloaked in absurdity. With each step forward into this delightful dance between reality and imagination, she learns that sometimes the wildest goose chases yield the most profound truths hidden beneath their feathers. In the quaint and quizzical kingdom of yore, where the sun doth rise with a sassy smirk and the moon winks with whimsical wonder, there lived a lass named Anya. This curious creature, clad in garments of gossamer and glitter, found herself ensnared in a web of bewildering inquiries that danced like dervishes upon her mind. "What ho," quoth she, "is this a polar shift or perchance a cosmic jest? Or mayhap those ancient Egyptians were merely having a most horrid day?" Thus began her journey through the labyrinthine lanes of history, where truth oft masquerades as folly. As Anya ambled along the cobbled paths of time, she stumbled upon scrolls so ancient they could make even the dust bunnies blush. These parchments whispered secrets of yesteryears, tales of pharaohs who fancied themselves deities and built pyramids that scraped the very heavens. Yet, amidst these grand edifices lay the absurdity of their existence. For what is a pyramid but an elaborate pointy hat for a king too fond of his own reflection? The irony was thick enough to slice with a sword forged from sarcasm itself. "Pray tell," Anya pondered aloud, whilst twirling her hair like a tempestuous tornado, "could it be that history is naught but one grand comedy of errors?" With each step deeper into this delightful delirium, she encountered peculiar beings, a talking sphinx who spoke only in riddles and riddled her with questions more perplexing than an owl at a tea party. "What is truth?" it queried with an air of enigmatic elegance. "Is it not merely the fabric woven by those who wield quills?" With every twist and turn in her quest for clarity, Anya's mind became a cacophony of contradictions. She recalled tales from scholars who claimed that cosmic pranks were indeed played by celestial bodies, stars flinging themselves about like jesters at court. Was it not said that when planets align just so, they conspire to create chaos on Earth? The thought tickled her fancy as she imagined Jupiter chuckling heartily, whilst Saturn spun rings around its own belly. Artifacts, an astrolabe that pointed not to stars, but to snickers and giggles hidden within the cosmos. Each turn revealed truths wrapped in layers thicker than an onion skin. For every answer birthed yet another question. "What sorcery is this?" she exclaimed dramatically, clutching her head as if it might explode from sheer absurdity. In her wanderings, Anya encountered scholars clad in robes adorned with symbols unknown to mere mortals, alchemists attempting to transmute leaden logic into golden wisdom. They spoke in tongues twisted tighter than pretzel knots. "Verily, the past is but a palimpsest penned by pranksters." Their laughter echoed through the ages as they tossed aside their tomes filled with serious scribbles for jests more befitting jesters. "Ah, but what if?" mused Anya while balancing precariously on one foot atop an ancient stone tablet inscribed with hieroglyphics resembling doodles from an overzealous child's sketchbook. The truth lies not in answers, but in questions themselves. Her epiphany struck like lightning on a clear day, a revelation wrapped in whimsy. Perhaps history was indeed one grand farce performed by players too caught up in their roles to see the script was written by fate's fickle hand. As twilight descended upon this merry misadventure, Anya found herself before an oracle whose eyes sparkled like starlit skies filled with secrets untold. "Dear oracle," she implored with mock seriousness befitting a courtier addressing royalty, "what dost thou say about my quest? Is it folly or fable?" The oracle chuckled softly before replying cryptically, "Truth is but a mirage reflected in waters muddied by time. Seek ye not answers, but embrace thine own absurdity." Thus concluded Anya's escapade through history's hallways, lined with laughter and lunacy, a reminder that perhaps life itself is naught but an elaborate jest played out upon the stage of existence. And so we are left pondering. Is our past truly unpredictable? Or are we simply characters caught up in this comedic play called life?